Actually, there are three services which make sure that we have enough compute power always available for the applications. Right? So, what are those three? Can you guess? Understood the question, Prashant?
Yeah, correct.
So, three services, you have to name three services which make sure that you have enough computing capacity available for the applications running in AWS. What are those three main services?
EC2.
EC2 is actual no, compute resource actually. So the question is surrounding the EC2 only. Say like, what are the services which make EC2 computing capacity available to you? So that is the core actually. That's the purpose, yeah. So to ensure that our EC2 is running with the right capacity, right, and that computing capacity, right. So what are the other three components, services, right, which are helping us for maintaining the consistency of the computational capacity? Just think and tell. So far we have discussed two things already.
This failover mechanism should be there.
You mean like
yeah, load balancer should be there. So
okay,
that,
okay, correct.
AMI.
AMI is something which will give you first once you have downtime, right, and then you can manage the resources, right? So that is definitely helpful, right? Once you have the something is down and then you have to use that. However, internally that is helping these services also that we are going to discuss, right? So say like auto scaling, right? So internally that AMI is going to help, right? Say like we discuss that load balancer will inform that to the auto scaling that this particular server is not responding, right? So then auto scaling can terminate it and create another one, right? So how it will create? It requires that AMI, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
From AMI only it will create, right? The similar one, right? So AMI is definitely helping internally, right? So directly, one thing you already told, Prashant. So that elastic load balancer, right? ELB.
yeah.
And another thing is in front of you, right? That is auto scaling, correct? So this is like this is going to help. And one more thing, you just think of it. We discussed yesterday actually. CloudWatch.
Okay, CloudWatch. Okay.
Right. See, what happens is you need that is monitoring, right? CloudWatch, what it is doing. You saw some options were there. CloudWatch alarm we were setting.
Yeah, correct.
So
yeah, correct.
setting like if something is wrong, then terminate the instance, right? Something is wrong, stop the instance. Something is wrong, alert me. Something is wrong, do something else. No, right? So based on that, we can choose the option, right? So whatever, because if you want to ensure that something is running, very first thing is monitoring, right? So monitoring can tell, right, what is happening, what is not happening, what is not running, right? So these three components, right, CloudWatch, ELB, and the auto scaling, these three services are very crucial for making sure that we have enough computational power, right, available at all times, right, for our application, so that they can run full-fledged, right? So EC2 instances are actually grouped here. In auto scaling group is created, right? And here this you see this AWS auto scaling unified scaling for your cloud applications. Explore your applications, discover what you can scale, choose what you to optimize, track scaling as it happens, right? So monitors applications and automatically adjusts capacity, right? Allows us to optimize performance and costs, available at no additional charge, right? So this, when you are defining this auto scaling, there is no charge for using this particular services. If you're adding a couple of more instances or removing something, so that can impact your cost. However, this auto scaling is not going to impact you, right? It's not going to, they're not going to charge you separately for this auto scaling, right? So getting it right. So now what happens is auto scaling we will be defining some minimum number of instances, right? So that minimum number of instances must be available at all times, like that we will define, right? So say like you say like minimum number of instances is 3. So minimum 3 should be running at all the times. It should not go beyond below that. So it will make sure, this auto scaling will make sure that okay, 3 are running at all times, right? You define, say like some desired number of instances, right? You define some maximum number of instances. Say like 3 you have defined. Now cost also matters, right? If you have so much of load, then instance will go to 1000, right? That also you don't want, right? Right?
Yeah.
So who will pay for it? So I don't want that much too, right? So I can also define that no, don't go beyond 10. Okay, more than 10 means something wrong. I will check myself, just send me one alert. CloudWatch will send one alert or something. I'll come and check myself whether what is happening, why it is more than 10 instances are required here, or I can say maximum 20. So I can define the maximum number of instances. I can define minimum number of instances. I can define optimum number of instances, that is desired number of instances. Say like I say minimum is 2, maximum is 10, and desired is 5. So desired is 5 means what, right? It will, whenever the auto scaling is launched, it will initially start with 5 instances, right? Now with 5 instances things will be running. Now it will see, right, that okay, more instances are needed here, lot of workload. Now it will increase to 7, right? Now it says okay, now we can decrease it, no longer there is no peak, so it will decrease to 3. We can further decrease, it will decrease to 2. Further it can be decreased because those 2 also not utilized. Maybe 1 should be enough. Still I have told 2 should be running, means 2 should be running. It should not go beyond 2. It should not go below 2. That is my definition, right? I want to, at least 2 should be running. That's it. So I can define that, right? You never know. Next moment there might be load or something, then it will add another instance or something. I don't want that. I just want 2 should be running at all. So the desired compute capacity can also be scaled out, right? So we can set that CloudWatch alarm. There comes that CloudWatch alarm comes at the rescue, right? So we can change that desired compute capacity, right? Using that CloudWatch alarm, we have the option there, right? So if a desired capacity value is mentioned in that one, what will happen? Say like desired is mentioned there, then I say there, no, there should be 5, then how many will run? 5 will be maintained. We'll try to maintain,
Okay.
5. Making sense so far? You understood what may be the purpose of auto scaling?
Yeah.
Right? So what kind of scaling do you think this is doing? Horizontal or vertical? Which scaling we are talking about? Prashant? Horizontal and vertical, right? You remember?
It's
We had
both.
discussed.
Yeah. It's both.
Horizontal, basically.
Which one, Prashant?
Horizontal.
Yes. See,
Okay.
Pradeep, here, we are talking about horizontal scaling. Means
Okay.
scaling in, scaling out. Terminate the instance, add the instance, right? It is not going
Yeah.
to change the CPU or something of the instance, right? Simply it will terminate it and it will add another one, right? So
Okay.
we are talking about, when we talk about this auto scaling, we are talking about horizontal scaling, right? So horizontal scaling means scaling out, means adding more instances. Scaling in means removing instances, right? So
Yes.
so what we can do here, we can choose instance type, we can specify instance. So all those things we can define internally, right? We can simply say that, no, I want on-demand instances, or this situation happens, that situation happens, I want reserved instances, right? I want spot instances. Whatever instances are there, we can define which instance type, which instance we want. So all those things we can do. So this can provide a very good fault tolerance, right? So unhealthy instance that we discussed while discussing load balancing. So all those unhealthy instances can be replaced by this auto scaling, right? By the healthy ones, right? So the bad one will go, good one will come, right? Using some kind of launch configuration, right? Launch configuration. Some option is there, launch configuration, right? So you can use that launch configuration, right? Which will be defining the AMI. We told about AMI, right? It is useful, right? So
Yes.
AMI is definitely helpful. AMI is internally used by this auto scaling, right? Because from where it will launch without AMI. So that's the backbone only. That's very important, right? So EC2 instances can be configured to run in more than one availability zone, right? So you have it running in one, you want to run in multiple availability zones, right? So you can define that, right? Remember fault tolerance again, because this is something we are discussing today again and again. Fault tolerance we are discussing with respect to load balancer. Fault tolerance we are discussing with respect to auto scaling. So remember fault tolerance. By now you should be remembering the definition, because this is something we very important, right? Fault tolerance is very crucial, right? So system should be functioning even if some component fails, right? Without degradation in the performance. Without degradation in the performance. System should be running, right? Even if a particular component of the infrastructure fails, right? Still, the service, the system should be available, it should be running, functioning, right? And performance should not be impacted. Remember that, right? So this auto scaling is very crucial for ensuring the availability of the application, right? So application will be available. It will always make sure that, okay, application is available. And who all will be helping? Load balancer and CloudWatch will be helping, right? We can adjust the workload capacity. How much is my workload, right? So accordingly, we can do that. And the best part is we can scale in as well. It's not only about scaling out, it's about scaling in also, right? So what is scaling in? Scaling in, scaling out. You are never getting confused, right? Scaling in means, because I'll be simply saying scale in, scale out. You can directly, as soon as I say scale in, you can relate, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Correct, no? Pradeep, you also confirm?
Yeah, yes.
Scale in means? Removing instance, right?
Okay, yeah. Wrong instance, correct.
Right? Scale in means removing instance. Scale out means adding instance.
Adding instance.
How you will remember this? Out means stretching, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right? Stretching out. So that is scale out, right? So adding more. And
Sure.
in when something is coming inside, that means it is like, no, you see here, just take these two arrows coming inside, right? Means it is reducing, going up, up and down. So this is like, no,
Extending. Yeah.
out. So multiple instances are added here, right? So EC2 instance, right? Fees are only applicable for running the EC2 instances only, not for this. So this is the best part of it, right? So how will do achieve it? We'll create a launch configuration, right? And we'll configure the auto scaling group, right?
Okay.
So let me tell you the steps so that once we do that time we'll have more clarity. So let's discuss the steps, right? So we call it as auto scaling life cycle, right? So how it works, right? In the very first step, what we do is create a launch configuration. What we create? Launch configuration, right? And what we configure? Auto scaling group. Getting it? So we create launch configuration and we configure auto scaling group, right? Now, step 2, what do we do? Instance is launched, right? So launch, or we are not launched, right? So instance
Scale out.
is launched, yeah. Instance is launched in this, right? So from where it is reading for launching the instance, from where it will read the information? From the launch configuration, right?
Launch.
Launch configuration will have the detail. Nowadays, actually, launch templates have come, right? Very recently. So now we'll be starting to use that launch template also for this auto scaling, right? So just now it is there's recommending that one, so that is getting supported by auto scaling launch template. So that I'll show you. So now how we can do that with launches? It can be manual, right? It can be automatic,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? You have the choices. You can do it manually as well. You can just add it automatically also, right? You can schedule it. You can simply schedule the launch, right? You can schedule that resizing. So automatically it can be launched, right? Manually it can be launched, right? So you can schedule the resizing. You can scale out, right? Horizontally, right? Correct only you told. You already told, right?
Yeah. Scale out.
So we can do all those things. Correct? Now, what will happen in the very next step? That's it. So, launch configuration you define, you configure this, and then instance is launched. What instance will do? Instance will run,
With auto scaling.
right? Yeah. Instance runs and supports apps. Applications, it starts helping the application workload, right?
Yeah.
Now, at some point of time, right, instance is terminated. Correct, no?
Yeah.
No longer needed, it will be terminated, right? So you can just see, right? This kind of step 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, launch. You launch the configuration and the launch config, and then configure the auto scaling group. You launch instance is launched, whatever way, right? So now instance is running, and then finally instance is terminated. So this is what we call as a what? Life cycle of the
Yeah.
of auto
Auto
scaling,
scale.
right? So this is life cycle of the auto scaling, right? So we can attach instances, right? We can detach instances. How? No, these things are very common, right? Creating something and then attaching it, right? So you have the option, right? Attach instance. So you have the auto scaling group, right? In that you want to attach the instance, right? In that attach instance to auto scaling group, detach instance, right? You can detach instance from auto scaling group, right? The instance which is detached, right, from the group, what will happen to that?
You can stop the applications running in that.
Okay, and then that is detached. Now it is independent, right?
Yeah, yes.
What we
You
can
can release
do
the
that?
can release the resources also.
Yes,
You
we
don't
can
want
just
to
terminate it, or we can independently use it. Correct? How we have EC2 instances running, no? Like that, we
correct.
can independently standalone instance. It can be used, right? Just normal instance only. Nothing special about it. Simply that we have attached it to auto scaling. It is not special. It is same thing. So we detached it, and now it can run standalone, right? Or it can be attached to another scaling, no, auto scaling group, right? So that is also possible. It can be attached to some other one. Here it is detached. How that elastic IP we are attaching, detaching, and attaching to something else, possible, right? Or we can release it. Similarly, this instance also becomes a resource where it can be attached to a group, it can be detached from the group, it can be again attached to some other group, it can be detached from there, it can be terminated. So all those things comes in the life cycle of the EC2, that auto scaling. Understood so far? So let's go to the AWS console now.
Okay.
Just show you how to, where to do all those things, right? So let's go to that AWS console, and now you have to tell me something. How to find auto scaling?
It's inside EC2.
Very good. Yeah. So go to EC2 dashboard then, because it's again about EC2, right, Prashant?
Yeah, correct.
So it should be there only, right? So just look for it. You see here auto scaling, right? Just click. It's expanded. Launch configuration and auto scaling group. These two things are there, right?
Yeah.
I'll also show you something here on the top. You see here launch templates also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We were seeing all these things: instances, instance types, launch, spot, saving plan, reserved, and all. Now you just see launch template. We have not explored, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Before we go to the this configuration thing, just click once at least on this launch templates. See here, what does it say? Streamline, simplify, and standardize instance launches, right? Use launch templates to automate instance launches, simplify permission policies, and enforce best practices across your organization, right? So then again you go through it. Save launch parameters in a template that can be used for on-demand launches and with managed services, including EC2 auto scaling. This is what I wanted you to read. Found it, right?
Yes, yeah.
That
So this
means
is a template. It's a
this,
predefined template.
yes. So in place of this launch configuration, you see this launch configuration mentioned, right? This is a launch configuration. The template also means configuration only, right?
Yeah.
Template.
But it is already.
Just mention some information there that becomes a configuration, right? So in place of this launch configuration, right, the latest trend is to use this launch template actually, right? So this is new thing actually, right? So you see here, you have that easily update your launch parameters by creating a new launch template version, right? So streamline provisioning, right? Minimize steps to provision instances. With EC2 auto scaling, updates to a launch template can be automatically passed to auto scaling group. So what we have been discussing about launch configuration and whatever option they are giving for the launch configuration for auto scaling, they are giving launch configuration. Same thing can be accomplished using launch template, right? See?
Okay.
Correct? So
Yeah.
it's clearly mentioned. Minimize steps to provision instances with EC2 auto scaling. Updates to a launch template can be automatically passed to auto scaling groups. So this is what is the main purpose, right? So you have the documentation, right? You have how you can learn about all these things. So you can just try to follow the documents as well, right? So whenever you get a chance, just try to follow. Now you click on this create launch template. You see here what all the options are there. Launch template name and description, template version description. You see auto scaling guidance is there, right? Some information is there, right? Correct?
Yeah.
See, just click. Select this if you intend to use this template with EC2 auto scaling. Found it? Right? So this is the latest trend. So we can explore this option, right? Provide guidance to help me set up template that I can use with EC2 auto scaling. So this template can be used in multiple ways, but you can utilize this launch template for EC2 that auto scaling as well, right? So just say my template 1. Okay.
Okay.
Right? So some description you can write. Use for auto scaling or something, you just write, right? Nothing whatever you wish, right? Nothing specific here. Okay. Now look at that tag. No template tags are currently applied to this template. Add a template tag to apply to launch template. So add some tag. Just give some name and say, right, launch just say template 1. I say template, my template 1 maybe, yeah. So my template 1. Let's keep that name only, right? So that we can remember, right? So there is no source template or something here, right? You can optionally specify some source template as well, right? So launch template contains. Now you require an AMI here, right? So I think again and again we are requiring AMI. So let's go and create one AMI. What do you say? Shall we?
Okay.
So what you do, click this, go to this AWS, right click here and open link in a new tab. Right click on this AWS and open in a new tab so that you have another management console. You go to EC2 there, right? And you have that AMI, right? So what you can do, register new AMI. So better you, what you do is go to that instances, right? We have this no instance running here, right? Still it is okay. So go to that here. You have that option somewhere, create image option. Click on that image.
Okay.
Give that my or not my. Just say like RHEL AMI. RHEL AMI. My RHEL AMI. One something. Don't choose this option. Now, whatever is there, this SDF that we don't want, right? This is something additional. It's okay. This also can go. Doesn't matter. General purpose SSD. So we have this 1 GB also, right? What was there in this one? You remember anybody? Anything special? Nothing, right?
Actually, Harish, I did a create an instance.
You have one instance, Linux instance, right?
Yeah.
So this EBS is not there for you?
There's one RHEL instance. I said instance state stop.
Your instance is stopped, right?
Image, create image, I should say, right?
Wait 1 second. You have one instance here, right, Prashant?
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Now nothing. Just it should be selected, and you should click on action, and you should go to image.
Oh, create image.
And then you just click on create image. That's it. This page you come. Here you just give some name. Say like RHEL AMI. Something you give. Same thing maybe you can just put in the description, right? Like that you do. Come to this page and then once Pradeep, you have done till now?
Yes, Harish.
Do you remember we had anything here in this one?
The EBS?
This EBS, did we have any data? No, right?
No.
Then we can skip this one. We can skip this one. We don't want this in the image. We can save 1 more GB, right? So just remove that, cross that. See, for AMI, what is the most important is the root volume, right?
Correct, yeah. So if we remove that EBS, does it not affect the existing running instance?
No. This is
okay,
like,
because we are creating a new instance. Okay, right.
Yeah,
Understood.
this is, we are creating the image that AMI. For that AMI, like we will get only root volume. We will not get that one. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, existing one, it is not touching. See, for existing one, our volume will be here, right, in Elastic Block Store. Right? So it's not touching that one. We simply just deselected means now this volume will be used for, right, creation of my image. Now whatever instances will be launched from this particular AMI will have only one volume. That additional 1 GB volume will not be there. That's it.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So total size of this EBS volume will be 10 GB, right? When we create an EBS image, EBS snapshot will also be created for each of the above volumes. So at later point of time, whenever once we have done with the test and all, so you just delete it, right? Don't keep it, because again our storage limit will be over and they will charge, right? So let's keep like this and click on create image.
When you say total size, Harish, this will be a different.
same size, no, as root volume. But
Okay.
this will be additional, right? Snapshot will be created,
Yeah.
no, for 10 GB.
Yes. Okay.
So 10 GB your
Ma-
instance, 10 GB of size of the snapshot. So 20 GB, and then you will create one more instance, for example, then 30 GB. Your limit is reached.
Okay. Understood.
If you create 2 instances additional,
Huh.
then it will go to 40 GB.
Okay. Then there'll be charge.
Yes. Anything above 30 GB, they will charge.
Okay.
For
30 GB is the maximum they give, right? For
yeah, for pre-tier they're giving 30 GB of this SSD volume or whatever
okay.
volume.
So but for the existing instance, we already have 10, and
Yes.
when we stop that instance, right?
Stop or start doesn't matter. Storage you have taken.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So for the running, I mean, for the existing instance we created, that will have a snapshot, right?
We have not created as of now. We don't have. You see
Yeah,
now
and
because
the package
AMI is getting
session
created, so now it will create one snapshot. Earlier snapshots and all we had deleted. See, this 10
deleted. Okay, understood.
snapshot is created just now. You just see August 30th at 12:40.
Understood.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now this 10 GB and then our instance here is volume. Just go to volume, go to the AWS. See, 1 GB also was there. So now 10 GB plus 10 GB, 20 plus 1.
So after it created, where it went actually?
After it, you created that AMI, you can see that AMI here in the images.
Images, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So you see that AMI listed here as, just you can rename it so that it's visible clearly. RHL hyphen AMI or something. Just mention here. Just mention here also name as RHL AMI name here. So
It's
now
still running for me.
still running for you.
Yeah.
Okay, just click on AMI and refresh here. It should have been done by now.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but still says pending.
Oh, are you accessing your instance? Is there any
Yeah.
file system running? Because I disconnected my putty.
Okay.
So
That's very good.
that's not an issue actually. There should not be any write operation going on in the file system, because some write operation or something happening, then the file system error might come.
Okay, I close the putty now, and it is available. Says available.
Okay, perfect. So now.
So it took time because we have opened the putty. That's just because of that, or
Not really, because from putty you are not doing anything, right? However, connection was there, right? So it
correct.
might be waiting for that connection to go, because
And
yeah.
okay, maybe.
Tell me.
And the existing instance, we are still keeping it running.
That is fine. Ideally, in production or something, when you are taking, you want a very good image. You want to keep a golden copy of your image. So what we do is, like, we just bring down the instance and take the thing, or at least stop the services. Whatever services may be writing to the server, we just stop them all, right? So
Okay.
nothing should be writing in that. So otherwise, there can be file system error or something. They will not guarantee that. So AMI, if it is having some problem, from that AMI you are going to create hundreds of instances in future, right? All will have the same problem, right?
Okay.
So
And for the stopped instance also, we can do the imaging.
that is best actually. For stop only we should do.
Okay, that is
right. So for stopped instance, if you are creating image, that's the best thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best thing actually. No, there is guarantee that nobody can access it, right? So
Yeah.
just about image means what? Just it will be copying it, making a copy, bit for bit copy, for bit copy, right? Each bit will be copied, right, from one storage to another storage. That's it. So the root volume is copied. So you can see that. That's why snapshot is created exactly the same size, right? Snapshot has been created.
Okay.
That AMI will be using this particular snapshot, right? So just go to AMI. You just see that AMI is ready. Now let's go back to our template where it should have the option to choose the AMI. Where was that? The source template, it is not meaningful, just AMI.
Yeah.
You have some my own AMI should be there, right? See, I have made it a bit easy for you, your practicals that you are planning, right? Now you got the AMI, right? So this time you can save. So from that AMI, you can utilize for creation of another instance, right? Where is my AMI? This is keep here. AMI here. So just look for that my AMI. Where is that option? Quick start is coming. Go down, down, down. Look for my AMI option. See, my AMI came. There is nothing till now. It should come, no? We need to go back, maybe, probably. We have done a lot of things here. So just remember what we have done. Just copy this. At least I will copy this. Copy this. I'll refresh this. I'll go to launch template again. Create launch template. Just put that my template, what we have done. Here we did template version description. My template 1.1, right? So now provide guidance for to help. Okay, so this is for auto scaling, right? So as soon as you say auto scaling, what did it say? Required. Here it was not saying AMI is required. As soon as you say auto scaling, you see the difference here. Just click and see the difference. Click, unclick, click, unclick. See that difference.
Okay.
Right. So for auto scaling, AMI is required, right? Otherwise, how will it scale out? How will it scale in, right? So for scaling out, for adding additional instances, it requires AMI. Without that, no way. So we'll add that, no, here, that RHL. No, not that. I'll just say my template 1, right? Then source template not needed. Now let's see, my AMI came. We don't have option to search here. My
It is there. I got that. Yeah.
Then it says my AMI, right?
Yeah.
You got your AMI. It's not there still for me. See? You got?
Yeah, I got
I
it.
got one AMI, my AMI.
Oh.
How to remove this?
It's taking so much time for me. Yes, it came finally. So my AMI, RHL AMI, I will choose my own AMI, right? It's better. Lot of things we are having. This AMI is very valuable, very much, right? We have Apache running, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now we have that instance type don't include in launch template, right? So now in the launch template, we are choosing like don't include, right? You have option, whatever options you can choose. By chance, if you choose, right? So what will happen?
Charged.
Yeah, all that 36 vCPU that your instance will be created with 36 vCPU if you go with this, right? So whatever you see, just T2 you type, T2. We have T2.micro, right? Free tier eligible. So you should choose this one only then, right? We don't have any other option. So let it be T2 for our free tier option, right? So 1 vCPU, 1 GB memory, that is enough for me, right? So we define the instance type, and we say don't include in launch template, key pair name, right? So
Not selecting
T2
a
micro, right? We have to use.
pardon?
If I select T2 micro, it is disabled. It is disabled.
No, it came, no?
It is showing in the drop down, but I am not able to select it. It is showing disabled.
Just click once. You have chosen AMI? I think you have not chosen AMI.
AMI I have chosen.
Chosen. Then this instance type, right? Just drop down. Just here you type T2, then T2, all those options is coming. Then here, if you just click like this, just try clicking. Try a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's actually network glitch, nothing else.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
because I also had this.
Yeah.
Was clicking, try to change the AMI, then it was not showing, taking a long time to respond.
So sometimes it will be there, right? No, because of slow internet. Mine also.
If I type only X, it is showing X, A1 to X large. That time I will select.
Is it?
T2, yeah. Only A series is active. Rest are all showing disabled.
Like this, it is coming. Gray.
Right. Yes, yes.
R5 say like it is enabled. This is disabled.
Yeah, for me T2 is showing like that.
Oh, A series is disabled for me. You see.
A series active for me.
What's happening? Just try.
A1 metal is what? A1 metal?
That is bare metal actually. That is costly one.
Okay. Okay, okay.
But very old generation actually. Right? With the name you can figure out. First generation actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is too old. But that is bare metal. You will get a server only. Correct, no?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So just try. So you finally got it right, Pradeep?
Yeah, I got that.
Prashant, what you do? You go back maybe, or you have no option to refresh, right? So you click on launch template. Again, you try.
Okay.
Or what we can do is we can configure. Nothing wrong, right? In configuring, we are not anyways. We are not going to use it, right? See, we are not going to launch a couple of servers and all those things. We are not going to do, right? But anyways,
Yeah.
this will be of no much use to you if you don't do this. If you create template, it can be useful later, right? Let it be. Let it be. You choose whatever you wish. Okay. Don't use. Use that actually. What is telling, right?
Now it is enabled, right?
Now it came finally.
Yeah, 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 fine.
It
When I
might be taking some
recreated it,
time to synchronize, maybe.
uh,
So what we have here is our front end, and at the back end, whatever data is coming from AWS, that needs to be populated here properly. Looks like some network gap.
Delay, yeah.
Now key pair login, right? So what I'll do, I'll just choose some RHL KP I had created earlier, right? So that is okay. For VPC, this is like launch into virtual network in your own logically isolated area within the AWS cloud, right? So let it be VPC, right? Now, security group. We have some security group or something, say like we had created Linux SG, right? So let's choose that only, right? And then we have some storage volume, right? It says volume 1, AMI root, 10 GB EBS, general purpose SSD GB2. This much is enough. I don't want additional. Here also you can add some 1 GB, 2 GB, whatever if you want, right? So you have some option for mentioning the resource tag. So that will be added. So now we don't want. Now, what else? What all things we have done? Okay, so I think this much is enough. Network interface, right? So no network interface are currently included in this template. Add a network interface to include it in the launch template. So this is like, you just click this. right? Device index 0, don't include in launch template, right? Description, subnet, auto-assign, public IP, right? Secondary IP, right? All those options are also there. So just explore this option. Just see here for device index, right? 0, right? Don't include in launch template. Specify custom value. Teach on USS 2A, 2C, 2B, 2B, right? You have those options, right? So in different teach zones, you have these interfaces, right? So you can choose these interfaces as well, right? So these network interfaces you can choose. You can define that network interfaces also. Then once you choose that device index, right? So then you will have option for further information, delete on termination, right? Not applicable for EC2, right? So all those options are there. So just now, for now, we just leave it as it is, right? So don't include in launch template. You want to include, maybe you want to include which one you want to include, which, what was there? 2B, I think I had the 2B one, right? So I have this ENI, Elastic Network Interface in 2B. You choose this, my primary ENI, I can mention that, right? So this ENI only I can use, right? But I can skip this part for now, right? Don't include in launch and auto assign public IP enable subnet. You can assign that. Okay, you just choose one from the same ability zone. Okay.
Okay.
Just choose one, right? So that ENI actually that is used somewhere or not. I don't know. Okay, subnet you choose, secondary IP you choose, security group. That's not needed here. This we will add later. Just leave it for now. Okay. Just remove that one. Don't add network interface. We'll do this later. Now what you do, go to advanced details, right? Just take a look here, right? We discussed, right? We have option for spot instances. We have option for IAM instance profile. You can just add something if you want. You want to create some profile. You can mention that profile. And shutdown behavior, not applicable for EC2 scaling group. So it's telling all these suggestions, whatever, many places they have mentioned things. So no resources tags are there, no network interface currently included, add a network interface to include it in launch template, right? Advanced details, spot instance, request for a spot instance you can do whenever shutdown behavior not applicable, stop hibernate not applicable, termination protection, right? That is fine. Detailed cloud-wide monitoring, right? That is fine. All these things also can be added, right? So many options are there. EBS optimize, capacity reservation. Tenancy, you can keep it default. You can just make it dedicated or something. So you have a lot of options, right? So all those things here. This is like some custom script or something. Whatever you want, all those scripts you can write it, right? So everything will be done for you, right? Once you have this template, right? Whatever you wish, right? So that is possible. So just say create launch template for now, right? And you just say launch an instance from this template, create an auto scaling group from your template, create spot, fleet, right? So you have the option here. So it says successfully created my template, right? So launch an instance, create auto scaling group. So what we want to do is create auto scaling group, right? So this is
So
like
launch instance can also be done
directly.
right?
Directly. That is the
Directly.
main purpose actually, right?
Okay.
Now they have extended that to auto scaling group also. Got it?
Okay.
So main
Okay.
purpose for this template is keep this template with you, right? And you can create instance directly with this. Simply you just choose that launch instance, right? and then it will, because already you have mentioned that instance type is this, all those things you have mentioned, right? So do we have to mention it again and again? No, right?
No, right. Okay.
So it's like even above the AMI. So you had the snapshot. From snapshot also you can do restore the EC2 instance, right? From AMI will have additional information apart from the root volume, right? So you have the snapshot, and on top of that you have further
Template also.
Yeah, that AMI you can use for creating instance, and then you have template in that. Apart from AMI, what type of instance you want, what all things you want, all those options are also there. Because see, when you are trying to launch one EC2 instance, that time you are choosing AMI, that is the very first step, right? After that you are doing a lot of other configuration, right?
Yeah, you're right. We no need to do here.
Here nothing
Just
is to be done, right? So simply it will happen, right? So now auto scaling, that is the benefit. So auto scaling group can directly utilize. So once you clicked here, where did you reach? You see, directly came to this point. Configure auto scaling group details, configure scaling policies. Directly came to step one of the auto scaling thing, right? You just see here. You had the option of launch configuration, right? Initially, that we have, instead of that launch configuration, what we are doing? Launch template. Did we create any launch configuration? No, right?
No.
What is written here? Just see. Old launch configurations console will no longer be available after 31st of August. Okay, so today is 30th. Tomorrow onwards, this old launch configuration will not be there. Your internet connection is unstable. Oh my God. Okay, so I think I don't want to interrupt, so I will manage with this. After we can take a break or something, maybe I can switch back to Broadband. So let's see here, create launch configuration we have not done. So what we have, we can do here, auto scaling group. If you just click on that auto scaling group, right? So what option we are having here, create auto scaling group. You click on that, create auto scaling group. I think this internet is a bit slow. So like this it will go, choose launch template or configuration, and then, right, so all those options will come, right? The launch template option came, right? You see?
Yeah.
So when you are going to auto scaling group, it says choose launch template or configuration. See, you have a choice, correct? Now it says specify a launch template that contains settings common to all EC2 instances that are launched by this auto scaling group. If you currently use launch configurations, that's the older concept, you might consider migrating to launch template. You see, right? So this has been used for many years now, this launch configuration. So it's now time for launch templates, right? So you can give a name, and you have option to choose launch template, and here you have option switch to launch configuration. If you click here, then it asks for launch configuration. If you click here, it asks for launch template, right? So you can use like that, or directly from the template, right? How we have come here, right? I'll open one more tab.
Harish, when I say
yeah,
create auto scaling group, that's what we have to click, right, from the previous page.
Yeah, or you see here, launch instance from template, modify template, delete template, right? Delete template version, create spot fleet, create auto scaling group. You see here, see, that is like something while we were creating the template, we got an option or something, right? So it's not necessary that now only we create that auto scaling group. So we may go for a break, we can come back after a few days. We want to create, after 1 year we want to create the auto scaling group. So whenever we want, so we cannot depend on those link that it is offering, right? So what we need to do there, we have to go to EC2 dashboard, There you have the launch template. You click on that launch template. You have that template ID, my template 1. Select that. Click on action. Come here. You have so many options, right? So here you see create auto scaling group. Now you click on create auto scaling group. Where do you reach to? The same page. See this page only. Same page, right? Correct?
Okay, so I could not see the launch configuration screen. I don't see any template created, but we created, right?
You don't see, you just open, no, in the new tab, you just open EC2 one more time.
Yeah, this whatever you were showing here, that is coming up. But when I go to launch configuration,
Launch
in the
configuration we never created, no?
Okay.
See, we have
After this
option.
only.
We have option for launch template or for launch configuration, right? So when we are coming to create auto scaling group, then it is asking us, you want to use launch template or you want to use launch configuration. So if you just click on this one, then it says launch configuration is needed. Do we have launch configuration? Did we create?
No, okay. No,
See,
no,
we
no.
didn't create. This is like, this is an option whether we can create launch configuration or we can create launch template. So if we create launch template, then you see we have launch template, no?
Yeah.
So we have created the modern option, the better option, right? Latest option, right? Launch template. Instead of launch configuration, we have used launch template, right? But however, if you want to create launch configuration, so that also we can do. How we will do? We go to EC2 and we go to launch configurations, right? And then again, all those configuration related whatever information is there, right? So we click on create launch configuration and then name AMI. You see, additional configuration, request spot instance.
Same thing, yeah. Okay.
Right? EBS volume, security group, rules, right? Key pair, exactly similar thing is there, right? In the configuration.
Yeah.
Right. So you can use anything. However, you can try. You can try when you get a chance, right? So you try to create auto scaling group using launch configuration. You try to create using launch template, right?
Okay.
Right. So now that let's go back to the previous screen where we have chosen to create the auto scaling group, right? There we just mention the name, right? I'll just close some windows for to remove any confusion or something. So now here what we see, configure auto scaling group details.
Now that's what my question, Harish. How did you come to this page now?
This page, like you remember we were creating the template, right?
Correct. I remember I created a template, and from the success page,
yeah,
I clicked on the create auto scaling group.
Correct.
Then it goes to choose template or configuration.
Same. This is actually same page. This is. Is it different for you?
Yeah.
Content. Just read the content. Maybe new.
That's what. Yeah. So choose launch template or configuration. That's what I'm in the same page.
Oh, you are on choose launch template or configuration page. You are there.
Yeah. So I in the success page. Okay. In success page, I can see launch an instance from this template, create an auto scaling group from your template.
Choose that.
Okay. And
choose create auto scaling group.
Yeah. So I clicked on that link.
Now what you got? Not like this.
Then I'm not like that actually.
Okay, so I think you might have got like this. I'll just show you what you got. I'll show you. See, there are two things. You just see here. What you have to read on the top. You see that blue notification?
Yeah. Okay.
Recommend that you use launch templates to make sure that you are getting. See, just read this notification. This is how nicely they have mentioned. Instead of using launch configuration to create your EC2 auto scaling groups, we recommend that
I didn't get this.
launch templates.
I didn't get this notification.
No problem, no problem. So this is something additional I'm telling. I'll come back to your point.
Okay.
So this is instead of using launch configuration to create your EC2 auto scaling groups, we recommend that you use launch templates to make sure that you are getting the latest features from EC2, right? So it's telling better you use launch templates rather than using launch configuration, right? So start using launch template, right? So this is something new EC2 experience. So this is, so now how do you reach to this page? First you go to service that EC2 dashboard you go.
Okay.
Okay. So on the EC2 dashboard, you go to launch template. Okay. Correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now what is happening is the old launch template console is no longer available, right? So we will keep improving the new console based on your feedback, right? So like that, it might be coming something else for you, right? So now,
same thing. I mean.
But say all are same only, doesn't matter, right? See,
Mm-hmm.
you know the concept, right? So whatever it comes, graphical interface changes, then concept will not change actually, right? So just click on that launch template ID and just match it. Just see here, whatever things you have done, right? So my template one, this is the one, right, that you created?
Yes.
Right, T2.micro, security group, key pair, availability zone, MIID, right? Resource groups and all those network interface, no network interface or something. So like that, whatever we have created, so exactly it's the same thing. Now after selecting this, right? So you decided that this is the template that I want to use for auto scaling, right? Now you go to action menu and choose auto scaling, create auto scaling group, right? So click on create auto scaling group. So this is what you are getting, I am sure. This is what you are getting, right?
Yes, correct. I'm getting this
new
page
one.
only.
This is new one.
Oh, okay.
This is new one. See, this is old one.
Okay, yours is old one. Okay.
No, not this page is like somehow it came old one. First time when I was trying, no, that time this old interface came, right?
Okay.
And here you see, this is new interface actually.
Okay, so I'm getting this page only now.
See, the difference between old and new, I'll tell you what they are trying to do is, look at this old one. So you have some options, then you have next button. You have some option, then you have next button. So you have step 2, step 3, step 4, like that you have review, then you have end. Now the new interface, by looking at this, you can see steps are written like this, right? So you just go down, right? Keep going down. So you have like
next.
this, right? So name this, that, like that you have. So something different they are doing in all services, they are doing it, right?
Okay.
So now some looks and feels they are changing. So it doesn't matter, no? Just mention whatever, same thing. Group name, here you see group name, right? Here it says like a launch template, by default it had chosen, right? Here it is asked, it's coming by default only, right? For you also, launch template only coming, right? Because
yes.
Why it is coming by default? Because you started with launch template only, right? You selected from the action when you went to launch template, right?
Basically, we are getting the old one and I'm getting the new one, right?
I will use this only. Whatever you are getting, that only I'll use, no problem. See, but how it is coming? Why it is coming as template here? That is my question. See, switch to launch configuration. You can click here, right? But why it is coming as template to you when you are coming? Why it is coming launch template as default? Because
we created now.
No, how you came here to this point? See, you were in EC2. Where did you go? Where did you go first? You went to launch template, right?
Yeah.
Now
then I clicked on that.
You selected
ID.
launch template. So obviously you are using this launch template, right? So Obviously, no, you are going to use this launch template. That's why you are creating auto scaling group by choosing this launch template. Then you are choosing this option, right? So by default, if launch template doesn't come, then it will look so embarrassing, right? Because see, now old was coming and then new came. You saw it?
Okay, got it.
Saw my screen?
Yeah.
So it's changing actually. Things are little bit. So that's why it will be little bit unstable here and there. So and today they are telling this tomorrow is the last date actually, right? So today it will be little bit unavailable kind of thing will be there. It will be changing, right? So it doesn't matter. Let's use this one, right? Okay.
Okay.
It's exactly same. Doesn't matter. Nothing is different. See, auto scaling group, template name, version, all these things. The next, like that. Here, template name, launch template, default template name, it had to launch template, right? Group size, network, subnet, right? You can choose subnet. Here also, it will come. So let's use this one. Just give some name.
Yeah.
ASZ1. My ASZ1, you can see maybe.
Yeah.
ASZ1. Like that, you just give some name, right? And then you have your template, right? Let that be default, whatever, one, right? So my template 1.1 like this, they're showing it to us, right? So this is the thing, right? So now you just click on next, and then you see this adhere to launch template, this option came, and here only something was coming. Adhere to launch template, some option was coming here. Some advanced data, something it was coming, right? So now adhere to launch template, right? Network, VPC, default VPC, subnet. Which subnet you want? This launch template to launch EC2 instance. I want it in 2A now. I don't have in 2A. I want it in 2A. For most applications, you can use multiple availability zones and let EC2 auto scaling balance your instances across the zones. Default VPC, default subnets are suitable for getting started quickly, right? Because those things are properly configured for default VPC, right? That
here we have to choose a subnet, right?
Yeah. So here you want to choose the subnet where you want to launch the EC2 instance, right? So for many applications, it will be automatic, right? It will try to balance, but let's choose that 2A, right? And you can choose multiple 2B, 2C, and then you can choose. Getting it? So you don't want 2C, then you can mention like this, right? So you can choose
auto scaling group, Harish. We are creating across. It is across subnets.
Yes. It's possible. That is the good thing about it. It's like it can span across the various priority zones, because now it works closely with the load balancer, right? So what it will do, if it is somewhere, if some instance is terminated, some problem is there, some instance is going bad, it's not adhering to the request. So what will happen? It will try to replace that instance, right? Now see, entire availability zone is going, right? So what you can do, right? So for most of the applications, you can use multiple availability zones and let EC2. So it depends on the application actually. So if your application is not supporting the distributed architecture, right? Will it make sense creating EC2 instance in another availability zone? No, right?
Yeah.
Right? So like that only. So it depends. If your application is monotonous, where you don't want, it cannot support, so you can simply choose whatever availability zone is there already by default in 2B. So you can choose 2B only. Otherwise, you can choose like 2C, 2B, 2A, everything you choose. Now it will try to balance it, right? Right. So you can choose like this, right? And then you can click on next. Now you see all those good options, right? Choose a load balancer. to distribute incoming traffic, right? Do you understand now? You can relate the benefit. Load balancer option, right? Just enable the
Yes.
load balancing. Application
ALB.
load balancer or network one? Yes.
ALB.
Yeah. Now choose a target group for your load balancer. See the benefit of creating that load balancer, right? And then combining it with load balancer, right? So both will be working, right? And then you have the health check option, right? So EC2 auto scaling automatically replaces instances that fail health checks. If you enable the load balancing, you can enable ELB health checks in addition to the EC2 health checks that are always enabled. EC2 health check is always enabled. When you are going to EC2 management console, right? So there, what do you see? There you see that option, right? For monitoring. When you go to EC2 dashboard and when you click on that monitoring, right? Let me open it on a new page. I'll just show you. So here EC2 instance is there. Go to EC2 instance, right? Just click on that running instance. And if you just go to this description section, you just click on this monitoring, you see already monitoring is happening, right? The default monitoring, right? So detailed monitoring you need to enable, however, right? The default monitoring, everything is real, right? So what is CPU utilization? See, this much of CPU utilization happened, right? Between this time and that time, it's showing that. So come back and then you see, right? That EC2 is there. Health check grace period. The amount of time until EC2 auto scaling performs the first health check on new instances after they are put into service, right? So how long to wait? This is by default 5 minutes, right? So for how long EC2 auto scaling should be, when it should do the first health check, correct? Right? Whenever that EC2 instance is launched, when it should do the first health check? After 5 minutes, right? So let's give some time, right? Let's give some time. Let's give some grace period or something, right? So now additional settings optional, enable group matrix collection within CloudWatch. So this is the third thing I was talking about, right? So we also want the CloudWatch, right? Matrix, right? Enable group matrix collection within CloudWatch. So let it collect the group matrix. You just you can read about that monitoring if you want. So enable group matrix collection within CloudWatch. So that is also possible here, optional here, right?
Okay.
Click on next. Now you look and see what next step is, right? So it's better, right? Now steps are visible in the left side. This dashboard is better, right?
Yeah.
See this dashboard. The left side, it was not left. It was there on the top side, right? So now if you just click on that next, then it will come this side. Then like that. So here they have just changed like this. That's it. Nothing much. Group size optional. Specify the size of auto scaling group by changing the desired capacity. You can also specify minimum and maximum capacity limits. The desired capacity must be within the limit range, right? So how much you want? Size of auto scaling group. Desired capacity, did we discuss? Desired capacity, minimum and maximum capacity I was discussing. Remember? See, when you are trying to launch your instance, that time with how many instances, right? This auto scaling group will start, right? How many instances are minimum that you want? You want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many you want, right? That is desired, right? So say like you want, desired is 2 that we were discussing. I said minimum. Desired is I was telling while discussing that I was telling 5. Minimum I was telling it should be 2, and maximum I was telling was 10. You remember now?
Yes.
Right. So it should not go beyond that 10 instances based on the utilization. Ideally, let it run 5 instances, no, and minimum capacity is 2, it should not go to 1. Understood, right?
Yes.
So it will start with 5 instances if you choose this, right? So for testing purpose, let it be 1, right? Let this be 1, right? And maximum you can specify anything. There will not be any workload, so no, it will never get increased, right? So put whatever, right? So for us, we'll put it 2 only, right? Now, so scaling policy is optional, right? Choose whether to use a scaling policy to dynamically resize your auto scaling group to meet changes in the demand, right? So we are not using any scaling policy as of now. However, you can create some policy, right? Whenever there is huge demand, right? Whenever there is too much of workload, right? So that time you want certain policies to be added, what needs to be done, right? So all those things can be kept here, right? Choose
Okay.
a desired outcome and leave it to the scaling policy to add and remove capacity as needed to achieve that outcome. Whatever is your wish, whatever outcome that you want, that you can track. Target tracking policy, every average CPU utilization, target value you are mentioning, instance seconds warm up before including this matrix. So all those things you can, those policies you can define here, right? And give some, choose some options, average network utilization, right? Load balancer request count per target. So you can choose that option, target value you can mention. So some warm up period you can mention, disable scaling to create only a scale out policy. So you can just create a scale out policy only, it should not come back, whatever. So like that you have options. So I'll just say no, right? And then instance scaling protection is also there, you see. You know that you can just relate to this. If protect from scaling is enabled, right? Newly launched instances will be protected from scaling by default. What does it mean?
Okay. So anything new will be created automatically protected by auto scaling. Hereafter, I mean, no?
No.
The capacity will be reduced basically.
Capacity will not be reduced.
The two servers, one will be given away because we are not utilizing it, right?
No. Again, you read it. See, that's why I was discussing scaling in, scaling out. Always remember, what does it mean?
This is if you give scaling protection, it will not scale in. If you just make
Yes.
sure whatever you have chosen, it will.
Yes, right, Prashant. Perfect.
Protection, no? So I didn't read that protection word. So.
Perfect. Now what you have told is the exact thing. Pradeep, you can relate?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If by default it will be for new instance, it will be protected if we check this box.
What will be
correctly
protected?
So any new instance, something like that.
Again, you just try to rephrase and again try to explain.
So enable instance scaling in protection. So I feel that any newly launched year after will be coming under auto scaling.
Then say like workload reduces to half.
Okay, yeah, correct.
Then what will happen? See, you have 1 lakh, you have 1,000 users accessing your website, and now that 1,000 becomes 5,000, right? And then it comes back to 1 user only now accessing your website. So
right.
The number of instances will reduce or it will not reduce?
It will reduce.
But if you just tick this mark here, will it reduce?
No.
It will not reduce. That is what this tick mark is for. So scaling will be protected, means scaling will not happen.
Okay.
So newly launched instances will come. They will add, right, to the workload, but scaling will not. They will not be terminated. They will not be removed. They will not be detached. They will stay back.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is what.
Okay.
So we don't want that. Now just go to next, and you see the notification, right? Simple notification, service notification, send notification to SNS topic whenever Amazon EC2 autoscaling launches or terminates the EC2 instances in your autoscaling group. So we can add one notification whenever these things are happening, whenever some kind of choose some topic here, admin alert we had created that day, right? So
yeah, correct.
choose that admin alert, and then event types, whenever one instance is launched or terminated or failed to launch or failed to terminate, whenever all these things are happening, it's good to get the information over the email or to the phone, right, through SMS, right, where we will be notified that, oh, something is happening, right? So let the admin be alert. Making sense?
Yeah.
Now click on next. Now it says you can optionally choose to add tags to instances, right? By specifying tags in your launch template itself. Right? We recommend caution. However, because the tag values for instances from your launch template will be overridden if there are any duplicate keys specified for the auto scaling. So if you just specify something, right, so that tag will be, that key will be overridden. So it's fine. For my EC2, right, I should be having some tag. Got it? I'm having some tag, right? So that tag only will go. That tag will be there for the new instances. That tag will be there. Here, if I add, say like here, if I add that name tag again, whatever is name tag given to my EC2 instances under that AMI, that root volume, ABS volume, some tag is there. So that will be overwritten with this key value pair actually. Got it?
Okay.
If I just say like name, and here if I say RHEL2, I had some RHEL or something, if I remember it, 2 was not there. If I say RHEL2, right, or if I say RHEL-new, right, so this value will go to that name key, right? So new instances will be tagged with this particular value. All the instances in all the machines, right, it will be created, right? Created from my AMI. Now I just say next. Now you just review it carefully, right? So we have all these options. We have this network, right? Load balancing is there, health check is there, additional settings, scaling policy, instance scaling production, not there. Notification is there, right? Now you have the tags. Simply click on create auto scaling group, and that's it. Now what happened? One notification created also. Group matrix collection is also enabled. Save on 90% on compute resources. Some advertisement also came for spot and reserved instances. Old auto scaling group console will no longer be available from tomorrow. All these notifications have come, right? So let's close all these notifications, right? Now I have my auto scaling group here, right? So based on my template, right, it's updating the capacity. What is the desired capacity? 1. What is the minimum? 1. What is the maximum? 2. These are the availability zones. Now, just click on this and just see here, right? All these options are there, right? So look at this ARN, desired, security group, key pair, right? All those things are there, right? Now, look at all those configurations, right? Now it's updating the capacity. Meanwhile, we just also look at something else, right? Okay. Now you have all these features. You just look at the activity. So launch, terminate, fail to launch, right? So just see here successful. So this is what is the very first thing, that launching EC2 instance, right? At this A user request created, auto scaling changing the desired capacity from 0 to 1. Now instance was started in response to difference between the desired and actual capacity, increasing the capacity from 0 to 1, right? So this has happened. Now, if you look at automatic scaling, right? So you just see schedule options, no schedule, start time and time desired. So nothing is there, schedule action, we can do that automatic scaling. We can write some policy, right? Add some policy, right? Just click on that policy based on what you want. Step scaling, simple scaling, target tracking. So based on which metric CPU utilization, up when CPU utilization is 90%, 80%, when you want to do that. So that policy you can create. You have instance management, certain life cycle hooks, certain features, monitoring. Go to that monitoring thing, right? You all launched it, right? Now it is there for you, right?
Yeah.
Is there, Pradeep, for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So you see CloudWatch monitoring details for auto scaling, right? Metrics, group metrics also there, right? So you just see it will come. All this data will be populated slowly, right? For EC2, if you see all time shown in UTC view CloudWatch, all CloudWatch metrics, you can click on that. You can also view other metrics. It's just getting populated, right? Instance refresh, right? So no instance refresh, start instance refresh. You don't want that. Now, what we can do, we'll just see, right? That on the EC2 dashboard, right, go to this instance. Right, instance times, loading instance times. Click on this instance. What do you see? Pradeep and Prashant, what has happened?
Yeah, I see. 2 instance, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, who launched it? Did I?
No.
See? So, I have not done it, right? So, they have created it, right? Now you just look at this tag. It got overridden, right? By this tag only you can figure out. This is, I have not created.
Yeah.
This is created by auto scaling. Okay. Now you just see this side. Time also you can see. See 134. Correct? Launch time. So whatever is the start time, that they will realize launch time, right? It has been started actually. So this is at 2020 at this, right? So this was like 10:56. This is 134. See this now, 134. 4 minutes ago, right? Now this has been launched by auto scaling group, right? So you have all this same thing. So now you can just know same key, with same key you can access this also. Whatever key pair was there, so that only I have added, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
same key can be used for accessing this server also. Now you got 2, correct? No?
Yes.
So now you can determine, right? Or maybe using that launch template for your test and all, you can create another, you can simply go there and you can use this to create another launch instance from this template. Like this you can click, right? So launch instance from this template. So yeah, my template 1 default, AMI there, T2 micro is there, key pair is there, network setting is there, everything came, right? So simply you have to say launch template, right? Do we have to say anything else?
No.
No, right? Simple,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So simply you click on launch instance from this template and simply go there, right, to That EC2 dashboard to the instances actually. Go to the instances. And you see the magic.
Yeah.
How is life? Easy, right?
Yeah.
So this is how it works, right? So you saw the benefit of this launch template. Quickly it happens like that only, as quick as, right, it worked here, we clicked, like that only auto scaling will work. So just imagine server is, say like you are having 3 instances in one target group, 3 instances in another target group, right? And the load balancer detected that there is a problem, right? How much time it will take to launch one instance, right? So you have the load balancer, right? And then you have the various availability zones. You have the various instances running. EC2, for instance, number 1, 2, 3. Here you have 3 instances, right? And then here you have some 3 instances, right? Now, what happens is this instance number 3 goes, right? This load balancer, right, was getting the checking everything, right? Where it is going, what is happening. Okay, this instance has gone bad. It informs the auto scaling group because we have associated it, right? You saw it, right? We use this load balancer name, right? Somewhere, you remember?
Yeah.
So this load balancer will be knowing, right, what's going on. This is not responding. Now that auto scaling group, right, that we have created will simply replace this one with new one, right? And it will happen so quickly, right? That like this only. So it will come. So that time you saw how quickly it came. Now this is initializing, right? So this is taking a little bit of.
So it will launch by automatic.
Launch, no?
Harish?
You see?
I mean, in the real time, I'm asking.
Yeah, in real time. See, the very first one I had not launched actually, right? So whatever we decided very first time we had initiated that, then it launched. Now this auto scaling group, right? How it will launch in real time, I will tell you. I'll just show you that option. See here, you just select this, right? And then what is there? You have this launch. All these configurations, everything was there, right? You had that advanced configuration, right? So you saw somewhere that scheduling option. You remember?
Yeah.
Where it was automatic scaling, right? Go to automatic scaling.
Yeah. Okay.
Now in automatic scaling, you look at some no policy is written, right? Right?
Yes.
No policy is there, right? And you don't have scaling policy here, and then you don't have scheduled action here, right?
Yeah.
So if you create some scheduled action, right, you can simply give that name. You can simply just give some scheduled action, right? So you can say like in our Linux machine and all those, there will be cron jobs, cron tab, right? So like that, you can say schedule 1, provide at least one value for desired. So I want desired is 2. I want minimum is 2. I want desired as 4. I want minimum as 2. Or I say minimum 4. I say desired as 5. I say maximum as 10. Right? Now, what do I see here? You have the option for every day, every week, once. I say once.
Okay.
Then, or I say like every day it should happen, right? See this cron. This is coming from Linux only, right?
Okay.
So cron tab will be there. So accordingly, they are just mentioning this cron. Every day you want to do it, right? What time you want to do it? What minute you want to do it? What should be the date here? Start time, right? What should be the start time? So I say like 30th only, today only, right? So now what should be the time, right? In UTC, right? So what is the time UTC now? Ours is plus 530, right?
Yeah.
So if I just say 10, it may not take, right? I will come to know. Oh, it's taking only. If I say 9, then it may not take, right? It's taking. So I don't know. Then we need to fix it. The time, no? What time you want? Immediately we want it to happen. What we should put? See, now it is 13:45, right?
Yeah.
Just tell me the time that so that within 1 minute it should happen, 1 or 2 minutes. UTC time.
Okay, UTC time.
Just let me search UTC time now. If I search, no, it will come. I say UTC time now. That is GMT only, right? 8:60 now. Right? So I'll say 8:20, right? After 4 minutes, it will create. I'll say 8:20. Okay. So let me say. What about that? I will just close this one. I'll just say 8. See, I say 8:20. 8:20, right? I say 8:20, right? So you see, this is minute place. First one.
Okay.
This is hours place. See what you do, Pradeep and Prashant. You see, simply you can see like Linux. You just see Linux cron tab. Like that you search and read. Okay? Linux cron tab. Or you just what you search is you search like man type cron tab. Like this you search man 5 cron tab. Okay? Search like this. So you'll get the man page actually on the Linux server, how you get it, or on the Linux server itself, you type man 5 cron tab. So you will have that cron man page. So there you can see the details of the cron tab. So first you can put minute, then you can put hours, then you can put day of month, then you can put month, and then you can put the day of week, right? So like that, you can put statistics means my internet is unstable. So now asterisk means what? Always stands for first and last. So all range will be taken for asterisk or star, right? So now what we are going to do is 8:20 we are putting, right? Start time is this, right? 8:20. Every day I'm not putting, I'm just saying what? Once. Once means today, now only it will do. Okay?
Okay.
Why it is not taking, why it is not telling about the previous thing, it's not matching the time. See, it will take the wrong one, it will not no alert. Okay, no problem. So in configuration files usually this happens. On Linux servers also it will happen, right? So you just put the wrong cron tab, it will not run. That's it. It will not tell that you are putting the old data or old time or whatever. So that's the one thing. So now I have given 5, 4 and 10. You just remember minimum 4, I have only 3 as of now, right? And desired is 5 and maximum is 10. So you just see, I just create this schedule, right? Okay, schedule 1. Now I say create. Now you have to see this. Now the schedule action created or edited successfully, right? So now this has been taken. You can also edit it at a later point of time if you want something else, then you can do that. So this is automatic thing only. Now you just go and now wait for the time, right? So 20, I think UTC time. Now it should be 19. Let's wait. Let's go to EC2. Let's go to instances, right? So now I'm having 3, right? So
yes.
2, I will just terminate. Let me terminate. Where is that? Oh, terminate option is not. Yeah, it's there. Let me terminate. Okay, let me not do anything. Just wait. Because now if I do, no, something will happen because of my action, right? We don't want that, right? We want something to happen automatically, correct?
Yeah.
Let's not touch anything. Let's just wait. Right, so what we can do maximum, you can refresh. Nothing else we can do. And when it launches, it should tell us also, right? We have added that schedule, right? I have not done any mistake, right? You have validated, right? So today's date only I have given, right?
Yeah.
So then you cross check meanwhile. 5, 4, 10. Occurrence is once. Today's date only, see? And 8, 10 as the time in UTC. Yes. Cancel. So let's see. Activity. See? Activity started, you see?
Okay.
You see schedule 1.
Yeah.
Executing scheduled action, right?
Right.
What time? See, as soon as it was 1:52 seconds, right? Hence UTC, whatever was time after, within 2 seconds, it has executed that action, right? And launching a new EC2 instance, right? The request created, changing to design. This was the first one, I think. This is old one, 134 that we had done. Then pre-instance, launching a new EC2 instance, right? 150. You see this time? Correct?
Yeah.
Now what does it say? Just look at it. At this time, right? At 8:20, 2 seconds, right? A scheduled action update of auto scaling group constraints to minute 4, maximum 10, desired 5, changing the desired capacity from 1 to 5. How many servers I will have? Tell me. How many servers I should have if I go to my EC2 dashboard?
5. Huh?
Desired means that only, no? To begin with, I will have 5. Then what it will do? There won't be any workload or something, no? Then it can reduce to what? Whatever minimum I think I had done 4. So minimum also will be 4. So whatever happens, it will be 4. It won't be 3. Now, just look at various other aspects. Desired is 5, changing the desired from 1 to 5, right? So all those options. Let's go back to the EC2 instance. Let's go to the EC2 dashboard, right? And then you go to instances.
5 has launched, I think.
Oh my goodness. What
4.
has happened? How many you are having, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So what has happened? So many got added, right? This has happened automatically only, right? And all you see, all RHL new. So how it has happened, that calculation you need to check, right? So just see, all has got different IPs, RHL, KP, disable. So what time it has come, we can see which one has come later, which one came like. So let me sort by this date. Now you see 150, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 got added, you see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you gave 5, but it is got added 4.
You know why?
Yeah, because
because this is, they are considering only this one, right? The target group, you remember? How many were there? Only one, right?
Yeah.
So this one, this RHL 2 we had created, no? This RHL, this one and this one, I think. Wait 1 second, let me come. So this one 134 and this is 140, right? This was manually created, right? These 2?
Yeah.
So this is, it's not considered, I think. These 2, no? What time? 134 and 140, right? So let me, this is not the original one, right? So that's not the original one, right? 134, this. Okay. What I will do is I'll just terminate. Let me terminate that. Let's see. So I'll just terminate. There are other conditions also, right? For EC2, that availability zone also we have given, right? 2 availability zones were given, correct?
Yeah.
So it must be maintaining that aspects also, right? So a lot of things we have done. So see, these two I have terminated. Now I have 2B, 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 and then 2A, 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 right? So this is the situation as of now. Okay, so now let's see what happened. Do you see something else? Nothing, right?
Nothing.
4 plus 1 is there, right? So nothing is happening. 4 plus 1. So my desired is 5. So whatever manually I have done, no, that is like they are not aware who has created and why they have created. It will not be like any instance is there. Say like I may have 1,000 instances running here, right? So it will not consider all of them. Whatever scaling, right, it is doing based on whatever it has done on its own, right? So it's just considering that. It's not considering what I have created manually, or I had something older one, or I had created using template. All those things it's not considering, right? Now, so these things 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are there. You see, these 5 are maintained. Nothing else is coming, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And because we you set the job as once, right?
See, started one more coming. See?
Okay, initializing.
I just refreshed. See, one more is coming because I have deleted, right?
Okay, because
after that it is one coming. That's what I wanted to see actually. So once we delete that, this RHEL new I have deleted. This was like from that only. I think. This was from our instance. Let's see how many are coming. Then we'll review that configuration. 4, 5, 3, 2, like that we have given minimum, design, maximum. So what happens is actually, Pradeep, so depends on different type of policies, right? So there can be some policy where we can define, right, how many, what is the condition, right? What kind of, based on what we want to launch, right? So like that we have to define the policy, right? Now we have simply said that, no, you just do this. So at that point of time, I have decided based on time, right? So I have told that at that time you just launch these many, right? So what was desired I had kept? You remember? Did I put 5? By looking at this, I think I had put 5. Tell me. How many
you put maximum 5.
Not maximum. Desired how much I put?
Desired is 5.
Desired I put as 5, right? Maximum I think I put 10. Correct? So understand that the desired capacity means how many you desire auto scale to launch. That is the desired, right? So now, because we have not given any terms and conditions, we have simply given the time, right? Date and time. I told at that particular date and time, you just begin, right? And then you maintain this much of desired capacity.
Instance.
Just launch these many instances. So that desired thing, right? It's just trying to maintain the desired thing at the all time. Now what can happen after a lot of situations, whenever it will be checking the utilization and all those things, and I have given that port 80 only, and I have not given like no other threshold and all. So usually what happens is, I'll just tell you, let me explain this a little bit, right? Then with this we can end, right? So what happens is, there is a concept. This was just like schedule one, not making much sense here, right? But there is something called demand in production environment. How it works, that it will be demand based scaling. This is what I think you were looking for, correct? This is what you were looking for, right? Demand-based scaling. Whatever is the demand, how much it should scale, right? So it will happen like you just have say like some EC2 auto scaling group is there, right? You created some auto scaling group with certain EC2 instances, right? So now you have the auto scaling group, right? So now you have the CloudWatch. So it will be monitoring it, right? The metrics. Now, what can happen in the CloudWatch alarm, right? Right? You will have CloudWatch alarm. So there, you can simply mention that when the CPU utilization goes above the 90%, right? For how long? For say like more than 10 minutes, right? So in that condition, right, what you need to do is, in this condition, you add say like how much we can say 100%. I say add 100%. Right now, you just tell me what does it mean actually. 4 are there, no? So whenever CPU utilization will go for more than 90% for 10 minutes, no? 5 are there, no? So 5 more will be added actually.
Okay, just to load the balance.
No, because I have written 100%.
Sorry to interrupt. How long more you will be carrying on, Harish?
I think 2 to 3 minutes maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, this concept only. That's it.
Okay.
So you based on this demand, right? Demand-based scaling. What happens is the CPU percentage. I just mentioned that the CloudWatch alarm that whenever CPU percentage CPU utilization goes for more than 90% for more than 10 minutes, at that time just add 100%, right, to this auto scaling group, right? So I mentioned 100% means what? As many were there, as many, right? 100% means that. Okay. So why this will happen? Because CPU utilization has gone high, right? So that means there is more demand, right?
Yeah, correct.
Now that can be written in the scaling policy, where it can be written in the scaling policy, and then you can have that CloudWatch alarm. You can write some kind of policy. Then you do this, you do that, whatever. Now CPU, say like CPU utilization can again go back to less than 50% possible, and it can happen for more than say like 15 minutes or something, right? Now some CloudWatch alarm can be set, right? That now remove, right, 50%. Removing 50% means how many were there? 10?
5.
10 were there, no, total.
Yeah.
So the scaling policy you mentioned, remove 50%, right? Now here you mentioned that you created the scaling policy here to add. Now remove 50% means whatever was there, so it will be removed. So 50% means 5 out of 10. 50% means 5, right? So this will be. So this is happening like scaling in, and what was happening here? Adding of this is scaling out. That was only happening, right? So this is how it works actually. So this is in practically, if you just consider everything, if you just go and review things, right? So you will notice that it's doing the right thing only. So what we have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is coming, right? So that is add 1, right? So this much is getting added actually. So we have just given this schedule that at this point of time, you just my desired quantity is this much, and that much it is added. This is what it means. Got it? So just review that, and then later, no, you see, this is like now. You can review things right here only, this one only, right? So now we have this policy. Just select it, right? And then you have all these options. Everywhere you will find edit button, right? So whenever you find this, you can simply go to, you see desired capacity I have mentioned here, right? Auto scaling group name is this, desired is this, minimum is this, and maximum is this. So it starts with desired one, but what we mentioned, this is the permanent configuration that we have mentioned, right? Now, whatever we mentioned, that it tried to match the schedule policy. Where is that policy? You see that policy is gone. You know why?
Okay.
Why it is gone? Any idea? See, it is not there, right?
Yeah.
Why? I have selected this. My policy is not there. You know why? Just think. It was once, right?
Okay, that job you're saying, okay.
Yeah.
Job we get it only once. Yeah.
This was only once, right? So this happened and went. That's it. It launched 5 and gone, right? Now what is working is the desired one, so right? So now how, if I remove things, still it will come, right? It will be like that Ravana's head only.
Yeah, it will keep growing. Huh?
Okay. It will come back. You terminate it and it will come back. You know why? Because of this one.
Our
Because
policy.
of, here we have mentioned, no, this
5.
yes, here
5.
is 5, right? Because of this, it is coming. Right? So desired 5 means whenever it launches, it will launch 5. That's it. Desired means. Got it?
Okay. Okay.
Right? So you can just go back. You can just practice it, and you can just try to relate things. You just try to explore more, right? And try to figure out. Don't worry about 5 or 10 servers are running, right? So there is no much issue, because again, you can stop it. Say like now my EC2 instances are 6, right? So if 6 instances run for 1 hour, it will be equivalent to 6 hours only.
Okay.
6 hours only, right?
Okay, yeah.
So total 750 hours I'm getting, right? So how many I am running, that doesn't matter. Got it?
Okay. Yeah. So I have two instances running, so which I need to stop now.
Yeah, all instances you stop, right? Okay. AMI you can keep only one, right? And only one instance you keep, because for this all it is running, it's not charging, but for storage they will charge, no?
Yeah.
So what I will do is auto scaling group, right? This one I will. You are having auto scaling group, correct? No.
Yeah.
Delete it. Otherwise, no, it will maintain those many servers unnecessarily. So I'll delete this. Prashant, we are concluding, right? So you can delete it, whatever auto scaling or something is there. Oh, Prashant already left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So you can just delete it, right? Not sure if Prashant is deleting all these things. I need to inform him via Devashish. So this needs to be deleted actually. So otherwise, he will incur a lot of charges. For 1 week, if you allow to run all these 6-7 instances, right? So this will be so much, and then storage also, right? Correct. See, 10 GB each it is taking. That is the most important part actually. Instances is fine.
So snapshot also we have to delete.
No, snapshot you keep. See, that is related to AMI, no?
Okay.
Or if you are not planning to use tomorrow or something, you want to create it again, maybe day after tomorrow, then you can do it. You can delete it. How much time it takes? You can again practice, right?
Okay. So snapshot I don't have to delete.
Snapshot and AMI you can keep, right?
Okay.
And
Auto group I just deleted.
You deleted the auto scaling group?
Yeah, auto scaling group is it's deleting.
Okay.
It's saying deleting.
Okay,
An
fine.
instance, we can remove one instance.
Once this auto scaling group is deleted, no, then only you delete instance. Otherwise, no.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways, it is deleting, so it will not work now. And load balancer also we created, right?
Yeah.
So better remove that. So whenever you wish, you can create. So that time, no, it will be good. Target group is there. So let's see. Target group we can delete. Load balancer we can delete. Template doesn't matter, doesn't harm, right?
Okay.
So this
Target group also have to be deleted, no?
I think this you try to delete this and then you delete that.
No, I deleted the load balancer.
But once you deleted already, now you delete
Yeah.
this target group also no use, right? So this doesn't harm, but delete it. Again, we can create a fresh one based on our planning.
Okay.
So just plan it, right? You just sit back and just decide what you want to do, how you want to do, how much you want, what percentage of CPU should be there, all those things. Put 5%, 2% CPU utilization, something for testing purpose, and then based on that you can try to see the feature of auto scaling. Load balancing you can do, right? And then you can try that. You can bring that instance services, and then when it is not accessible, auto scale. So when that load balancing feature you are using, and then auto scaling also you are using, that time if your system is going down or something, so that time load balancer should inform auto scaling, and auto scaling should replace it by new instance, right? So all those things you can test. You get a chance, right? So it will,
Okay. Yeah. So it's still deleting it. Auto group scaling
yeah,
auto
this is
scaling.
taking time. It says instances too because it's kind of counting the
Yeah,
instances.
that one when I delete the auto scaling group, the newly created instance, which is that is terminated automatically.
Oh, all terminated, right, for you?
Yeah, I think the
Except
one
one
which we created today, except one, the one which created today, no, just half an hour back.
template. Directly with template, we did right click and create it, right?
Correct. So that is terminated.
That is also terminated.
No, I have only two. One is we created 2 weeks back.
Yes. Another one that we created with template, correct?
Template, yeah. Oh, that is terminated now.
Oh.
So I think it is. I think when we delete the auto scaling, it is getting terminated automatically there.
Yeah. So auto scaling, that whatever rule is there, so that is no longer applicable, right? So, that's what it's taking care of all the underlying cleanup.
So you also, I think it should be terminated for you also.
Let's see. Scaling group. 1 second. I repent. Internet connection is unstable. It's no problem. It's slow is there.
Yeah, you see there is only one running, I think, for you. One running instance.
Yeah, I think so. became terribly slow.
Okay.
Okay, so I think no, we are fine, right?
Yeah.
It was good, right? Today's like interaction, how it was?
Yeah, it's good actually. So for the existing instance, I can stop now.
Yeah. So you have two, no? So you can delete one more.
No, I'm not deleting. I will stop actually.
One you stop. All
One is
deleted.
already.
All
One
others
is already
terminated,
terminated.
right?
That is what. One
Okay.
is automatically terminated. Yeah.
Okay, perfect then. In that case, what you do, whatever is running, right?
That I'll stop.
That only you stop. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it. Apart from that,
So something called AWS database